Good morning, everybody, those in the room and those online, and I think there are more online than in the room today. We have the pleasure of having Commissioner Lahbib with us this morning to present the LGBTIQ plus equality strategy 2026-2030 that was discussed yesterday at the meeting of the College of Commissioners, and we have now the opportunity and pleasure of having Commissioner Lahbib with us presenting it. Commissioner.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Should I push a button or is it already done? Thank you. I hope that you are much more behind the screen than in the room, and thank you for being here. Before I present the strategy, allow me to dedicate to someone special to me. And I will speak French. So for those who don't understand, please take the headset. Je voudrais dédier cette stratégie à Mustapha. Il aurait pu s'appeler Daniel, Claude ou Monique. C'était un garçon que j'ai connu quand j'avais une douzaine d'années. Il était à l'école avec nous et il avait tendance à passer beaucoup de temps avec nous, les filles, à écouter nos histoires, à nous conseiller, à danser avec nous, à rigoler. Il était devenu un peu notre confident. Et puis, à un moment donné, ça a déplu, ça a dérangé pour une raison ou une autre. On l'a retrouvé un jour dans un coin de la cour de récréation, le nez saignant, tuméfié. Il avait été battu parce qu'il dérangeait, parce qu'il n'était pas comme les autres. Alors je voudrais dédier cette stratégie à Mustapha, à Claude, à Monique, à Christine, à Jean, à Paul, à tous ceux qui peuvent s'identifier à ce petit garçon qui était différent, et à tous ceux qui ont manifesté à Pêche le week-end dernier, qui ont bravé l'interdiction, aux milliers de manifestants à Pêche, mais aux centaines de milliers de manifestants qui ont donné encore plus d'ampleur à la manifestation, à la Pride, qui est devenue même une marche des libertés à Budapest le 28 juin dernier. J'y étais, j'ai vu ce que la liberté d'expression, la liberté d'être ce qu'on est, qui on est, d'aimer qui on veut, était importante aux yeux de millions de personnes et ça a fait chaud au cœur. Alors en tant que commissaire à l'égalité, il me semblait important, et vient la raison du pourquoi, de présenter cette stratégie aujourd'hui, quelques mois avant la fin de l'actuelle stratégie qui va jusqu'en décembre 2025, parce que les temps sont à la régression, semble-t-il, à la remise en question d'acquis, ou selon ce que l'on croyait définitivement accepté, est finalement l'objet d'une régression inquiétante. Donc, nous pensons que l'Europe doit rester ce phare, cette lumière, cette sentinelle aussi, qui prévient et qui protège la liberté, qui protège l'égalité. Et donc, c'est le corps de cette stratégie, parce que nous pensons que l'Union a un devoir de protéger les gens comme Mustapha, comme Daniel, comme Monique et autres qui se sentent différents. Alors, this new strategy is focusing on 3 areas, starting with protecting, followed by empowering and engaging. First, we must protect not only the love, but the LGBTIQ plus people from all violence. Conversion practices are not therapy. They do harm. They can cause serious physical and mental damage. And above all, they are an attack on a person's dignity. And the numbers are shocking. 1 in 4 LGBTIQ plus people and almost half of all trans men and women have experienced conversion practices. including physical and sexual violence, verbal abuse and humiliation. So this must stop. We have heard the strong voices from civil society and from citizens, including through the European Citizens' Initiative against conversion practices. And we will work with Member States in full respect of their competences to end these harmful practices. We must also do better at tackling hate, offline and online. Online is a poison that does not stay online. It fuels violence in the real world. And sadly, despite growing acceptance of LGBTIQ+ people, this is a result of the previous strategy, violence and hate crimes are still rising. And that's why we are working to strengthen EU law to better fight incitement to hatred and violence, especially online. And we will also set up a new knowledge hub on illegal hate crimes online. It will help put into action our 2025 Code of Conduct on Hate Speech Online, already signed by all major social platforms. Second focus of this strategy is empowerment, making sure LGBTIQ+ people can live free and equal in all areas of life. Equal access to healthcare and social protection, equal access to education and equal access to housing, goods and services. And this is why the Equal Treatment Directive matters so much. The Commission has kept it on the table for further political discussion. And I want to be very clear, I'm personally committed to making progress on this. Diversity is not a burden. It's a great power, a fuel for innovation, creativity and Europe's competitiveness. When people can be themselves at work, they can give their best, their ideas, their talents, and that's good for business. We shouldn't forget that point. When people can be themselves, we are just fueling competitiveness as well. Fair hiring is also smart hiring. So the Commission will present guidance on diversity and inclusion policies, especially in hiring, working with EU platform diversity charters. And finally, we will empower LGBTIQ+ people through stronger equality bodies. This is important because equality bodies are the bridge between the law and people's daily lives. When someone faces discrimination, this is where they turn for concrete support. The Commission has already adopted 2 landmark directives setting standards for these bodies, and next year we will go further with implementing acts that set clear indicators on their powers, resources, independence and effectiveness. And third focus of the strategy is engagement. Bringing the whole of society on board, together with the Member States. To back this up, the Commission has more than doubled funding for civil society organisations and stakeholders working on equality and fundamental rights to €3.6 billion. This is for citizens' equality, rights and values strand in the new Agora EU programme of the next EU budget. And we will also launch a new LGBTIQ+ policy forum, a space for open dialogue with civil society, social partners and academia. We need national action too. So far, 13 member states have adopted national LGBTIQ equality strategies, but it's not enough, of course. The rest must follow. The Commission calls on all member states to adopt national LGBTIQ+ equality strategies, and we are ready to support them. National action complements and reinforces EU action. We also need good and reliable data. It's the only way to design and monitor effective equality policies, especially when people face more than one form of discrimination. And that's why we will propose a recommendation to improve how equality data is collected, analysed and used. In recent years, we have fought hard for the freedom of LGBTIQ+ people. Now, we are going further to build a union that is more just, more equal and free for all. LGBTIQ equality is not just the fight of one community, it is everyone's fight, because Europe without LGBTIQ+ people would not be Europe.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Lahbib, for your inspiring and encouraging words. And we open the floor for questions. Let me see if there are here in the room any. Oui, allez-y.
Bonjour, Julien Chavannes pour RFI. Vous évoquiez ce code de bonne conduite, si j'ai bien compris, contre la haine en ligne, signé par des plateformes. Est-ce qu'on pourra avoir les gros noms un peu? Est-ce qu'il s'agit de volontariat? Est-ce qu'il y a des sanctions si le code de bonne conduite n'est pas respecté, si les propos haineux ne sont pas retirés suffisamment à temps? Merci.
Alors, un point, on est en train de travailler avec le commissaire McGrath, qui est responsable justice, état de droit, à une législation basée sur la violence, hatred speech, donc le combat contre les discours de haine, qui était adopté, qui est une directive de 2021, qui n'a pas rassemblé l'unanimité, comme vous le savez. Et donc, nous allons travailler sur la haine en ligne. Pourquoi en ligne? D'abord parce que c'est la forme la plus vicieuse de violence, la plus répandue aussi, contre les personnes à risque, et j'entends par là les femmes aussi, par exemple, elles sont les premières victimes de violences en ligne, et aussi les minorités comme les communautés LGBTIQ+. Pourquoi la violence en ligne? Parce que pour adopter une législation pour combattre la violence en ligne, il ne faut qu'une majorité qualifiée. Et là, on est plus certain, il sera plus aisé d'obtenir cette majorité qualifiée au sein du Conseil. Et donc, on est en train de travailler dessus. Donc, il est un peu tôt pour parler de quelles plateformes vont être partie prenante, comment on va les sanctionner, etc. Il ne faut pas oublier que c'est d'abord un travail qui commence, qui est nécessaire, bien sûr. On n'est pas parvenu avec la violence tout court, donc les discours de haine, à avoir une uniformisation au niveau de l'Union européenne. Chaque pays membre fait un petit peu à sa sauce pour l'instant. Il s'agit de travailler à cette Europe de l'égalité qu'on veut tous en fait voir émerger, avec plus de cohérence, plus d'harmonie. Et donc c'est un travail qui commence seulement.
Merci beaucoup. D'autres questions? Oui, dans la salle. Allez-y.
Yes, I wanted to know the 3.6 billion that are budgeted for this type of engagement. How will they be disbursed? To whom? To what association? And also, I would like to know the European Union, because we are going backwards, as you say. Now, what can be done? Like 2 years ago, probably here, there would be many more people in the room. And now, I'll give you an example. In Italy, yesterday, well, I was very shocked, but for the first time in many years, we had a sign on the street where were they marketing a chicken breast with the breast of a woman. Now, this hasn't happened in years, but now there is a proposal of law on the table where they want to change the law and allow all type of sexual ads also along the roads, as it used to be decades ago. So this is clearly going back. This is for the women, but it's also true for LGBTQ community. So for me, when I'm asking about money, I'm also asking about what in concrete can be done to stop this trend, new trend.
Can you just present yourself and the media you represent?
I'm so sorry. I'm Federica Bianchi from Italy's magazine L'Espresso.
Grazie mille, Filippa. Yes, first of all, the funding. This is a proposal from the Commission for the next MFF. We are more doubling the budget of the SURF programme within the new Agora EU funding. So it is an important sign that we launch to the Member States that although there is a clear backlash, regression, the Commission and the Union is committed to stay this lighthouse of hope and also a union of equality. I always say that we have still many countries and many citizens their dream is to be part of the Union. And why do they dream to be part of the Union? Because of the values, because of the freedom that we are experiencing here. This is more than a market here. And so it means that we need to stand firm on our values and to defend it. And why we adopt this, why we're doubling, the fact that we are doubling the budget is a clear sign. We said to the Member States, look, there is a trend which is dangerous and we are completely against. And we will reinforce the civil society. We will reinforce all the equality bodies also. We shouldn't forget that we are also working to reinforcing the human resources, the funding, the independence of equality body. We are also going to launch recommendations to collect equality data, to be sure that all legislation are shaped with and rely on the reality on the ground. And we need for that comparable and reliable data. And for the moment, we don't have this. And that's, a series of measures that we put into place to reinforce the civil society. And when we have this initiative, also the civil society initiative, with the signatures of 1 million citizens asking to ban conversion practice, this is a strong signal also. And the Commission is taking very seriously. And that's why I'm also endorsed. It was in my mission letter to find ways to combat these underground practices. But we don't have a clear view for the moment. What is this conversion practices about? It is therapy, it's psychological support, it's disguised like this for sometimes, And so we know that 8 countries have banned conversion practice and maybe soon 9. Netherlands is following. But we are going to conduct, to collect all the information and to have that, then to shape the best way to combat these conversion practices. I know that I'm not answering specifically to your question, but it's a series of measures that are, only reinforcing the fight against discrimination. And it's against LGBTIQ plus people, but it's also against, women sometimes, to protect the violence, women from violence and from discrimination as well. And this is a clear example of, violence that you just said. I feel that this is a kind of violence, everyday violence and discrimination and also stereotypes that we need to combat. That AI, all this, is a real threat that we need to have. That's why we need a code of conduct with the big platforms, and we are working with also Commissioner Verkunen on that. We just adopted yesterday, we were discussing on AI and how to involve equality dimension also. And it's very, very present. We all agree in the Commission. And this is a good sign also because the Commission is also representing all the Member States. And I can assure you that there were no fights, no difficult discussions. We took on board all the remarks made by the different commissioners, but following their portfolio, and it was a very good discussion.
Thank you. And indeed, Commissioner, just after this press conference, we will then have a press conference with EVP Virkkunen precisely on the AI package. So it follows well from this one. Now I would like to also inform you, because we had a finalization written procedure, and so the documents were formally adopted 25 minutes ago. You can find now the communication on the LGBTIQ plus strategy along with the press material online, so they are available. And we have some questions online. Roland Pape.
Good morning, my name is Roland Pape with NIBSOVA. I hope you can see me and hear me. I have a question regarding Hungary, and my camera is a bit up yet. Because the Hungarian government has been very vocal that they don't want to protect, they don't want to empower, and they don't want to engage when it comes with the LGBTI plus people. So how is it going to work, for example, in those countries? And what does this strategy mean, for example, a young trans person from Page, when they are feeling discrimination on a daily basis, and when the state, which actually is supposed to protect them, is not protecting them, and the EU seems far away for them. So what exactly does it mean in practice? And on a similar note, we are all waiting for the court judgment on the Hungarian child protection law, but it's very likely that the Hungarian government will just ignore this. So how are you prepared to step up in that case if they will just ignore and don't care about the court ruling? Thank you.
So when it comes to Hungary, you know that we referred Hungary to the European Court of Justice over national rules that discriminate against people based on their sexual orientation and gender identity, the so-called child protection law. The Advocate General recently expressed its opinion and agreed with the Commission that the law breaches the Charter of Fundamental Rights and that Hungary has infringed on EU values. It is important to wait for the final decision, which we hope will confirm the Commission's stance. And concerning the Assembly law, I'm working closely with Commissioner McGrath, who is responsible for this dossier. And the Commission asked the Hungarian authorities to clarify the clarification also on the legal framework. We are now assessing the Hungarian reply, and on that point we want to make sure that we get the legal basis right, and the Commission will not hesitate to take further action as we have done in the past. For now we have more than 10 infringement procedures that are currently active against Hungary and on fundamental rights, non-discrimination and rule of law, such as breaching the Racial Equality Directive, the Employment Equality Directive, and the EU's Whistleblower Directive. We have also kept 18 billion of funding. This is also a major tool. I mean, the budget, the funding that normally goes to Hungary. And for the next MFF, we have proposed that this money, when this money is frozen, we are not going to freeze it for the end of the time. We are going to redistribute it to, through the SERV program and to the civil society. This is a big step because we don't want to punish the citizens for the actions decided by their governments when they are infringing the rule of law and our values. And so this is a strong signal again that the Commission is launching to the government.
Thank you. And we have further questions online. Max Ramsey.
Hey there, if you can see and hear me. Am I on the side? Let me try and sort that out. There we go. Thank you very much, Commissioner. Max Ramsey from Bloomberg. Do you at any point see, I know it's not in the strategy, but an EU-wide ban on conversion practices being possible, being something that could happen? And if I may, a second question. Part of the strategy is about promoting rights around the world. What can the EU do amid, what is something of a global backlash, particularly in the United States? Thank you very much.
Yeah, our strategy is worldwide, but first we are concentrated, of course, on member states. But when it comes to the rest of the world, our partnerships also, through our partnership, we are also paying attention, of course, of the respect of our values and democracies. And currently, we are also busy with, je vais continuer en français, nous essayons d'étendre nos relations. Nous avons plusieurs partenariats avec des unions qui se multiplient, tout simplement parce que justement les États-Unis commencent à montrer des signes d'instabilité. Et nous avons compris que ceux qui partageaient nos valeurs hier, qui étaient nos principaux alliés, peuvent devenir demain je ne dirais pas des ennemis, mais en tout cas des partenaires instables. Et donc, nous sommes en train de développer de nouveaux partenariats avec l'Inde, avec les pays du Mercosur, par exemple, d'Amérique latine. Et à chaque fois, évidemment, on se pose la question du respect de nos valeurs démocratiques et de nos valeurs d'égalité, d'inclusion, de diversité. Tout cela fait partie, évidemment, des conditions de nos partenariats économiques et commerciaux.
Merci. Et on prend les deux dernières questions. Louise Guillot.
Oui, merci beaucoup Louise Guillot avec Politico. Madame la commissaire, je voulais savoir, étant donné que cette stratégie n'est pas contraignante d'un point de vue purement législatif, que comptez-vous faire pour lutter contre les infractions aux droits des communautés LGBT, notamment dans les États membres, comme on peut le voir récemment en Slovaquie? Est-ce que vous comptez faire davantage d'actions, notamment devant la Cour de justice de l'Union européenne? Quelles actions davantage plus contraignantes souhaitez-vous mettre en place? Merci.
J'ai déjà partiellement répondu à cette question. On a une dizaine de procédures d'infraction en cours contre la Hongrie. Donc on continuera, évidemment, on n'hésitera absolument pas à multiplier les procédures d'infraction. Je pense qu'il ne faut pas oublier aussi, et puis il y a évidemment toutes les retenues, les conditionnalités, les budgets, les fonds qui sont gelés. J'ai parlé des 18 milliards de fonds de cohésion, de Recovery et Resilience Facility qui normalement devraient être alloués à la Hongrie et qui restent bloqués. Alors vous pourriez me dire, ça n'a pas d'impact. En tout cas, 18 milliards, ça pèse dans un budget. Maintenant, les citoyens aussi doivent comprendre que l'Union européenne, c'est une union de valeurs. Et c'est une union aussi de volonté. Personne, aucun pays n'a été forcé de rejoindre l'Union européenne. C'était un long processus d'adhésion et qui a commencé aussi par une adhésion à la charte, aux chartes fondamentales de l'Union européenne, à ses traités. Et donc, si maintenant nous observons dans certains pays des régressions, il est de notre devoir d'allumer les lanternes rouges, de dire attention, vous n'avez plus accès au budget, attention, nous ouvrons des cas devant la Cour européenne de justice et aussi nous soutenons vos sociétés, vos organisations, vos ONG, la société civile dans la lutte contre les décisions qui sont prises par le gouvernement. Donc je pense que c'est quand même des leviers qui sont importants. Il y a plusieurs procédures en cours. Je pense à cette initiative citoyenne, par exemple, que j'ai reçue la semaine dernière dans mon bureau pour avoir accès à l'avortement légalisé et sécurisé. Il y a celle que je vais avoir certainement sur mon bureau la semaine prochaine ou début novembre pour la lutte contre les pratiques de conversion. Tout cela, en fait, nous allons donner suite, nous les recevons, nous ouvrons des débats au Parlement. Ça commence d'abord, je crois, l'Union par ce qu'on appelle l'advocacy, donc un plaidoyer pour l'état de droit, pour le respect des valeurs et pour cette union où chacun jouit des mêmes droits, des mêmes libertés d'expression.
Et on prend la toute dernière question parce que on est déjà en retard pour la prochaine conférence de presse. Johanna Gilles.
Thank you, Commissioner. Joanna Gill from Thomson Reuters Foundation. I'd like to know the legal definitions in EU law is quite strong around the grounds of sexual orientation. And one of the criticisms of the previous strategy is that this was solely on grounds of sexual orientation. What's in the new strategy to grant protections on grounds of gender identity and sex characteristics?
Sexual orientation and all these topics are member states' competence. We shouldn't forget. That's why also it's so difficult. It's true, but they are part of the Union. So we need to show them the way and to push for more equality. And for that, we have all these strategies, we have all these recommendations, and also the fact that any kind of discrimination is at the highest level combating in our union. So we need to ensure that there is no discrimination within our union. And for that, we have high-level group on non-discrimination in every member states. And in this high-level group, we have a subgroup working on combating any kind of discrimination against LGBTIQ plus people and also trans people and so on. And that's why also we have an attention on the conversion practices, because the survey we convey showed that 55% of the transgender people have experienced conversion practices, which is really harmful. And that's why we pay a specific attention on this point.
And with this, we conclude this press conference. Thank you very much, Commissioner Lahbib, for your presence and your presentation. Thank you for your questions and interest. And bear with us just for 1 minute while we thank Commissioner Lahbib and then invite EVP Virkkunen. Thank you.